I used to think it was cool to wear my hat like this in middle school. I don't think it is, but we're gonna go with it. This is movie list number 3. I'm following along with Lisa Loves as she does these little film listographies. The prompt for this one was same sex Hollywood crushes. This ended up being way harder than I thought it would be because I wasn't sure how to define a crush. Also, if I were including TV shows, this would be a completely different list. So I think what I've mostly done is pick actresses that I've liked in multiple things. So a lot of these go back to the 90s. I don't remember if there were necessarily crushy feelings involved at the beginning, but probably. Lisa had 13 on her list, so I've picked 13 also. These are not necessarily in order. Number 1, Jodie Foster. She's my favorite actress. She's super cool. She's going on the list. And I just saw the trailer for True Detective Night Country. That looks like it's gonna be so good. Number 2, Jennifer Connelly. You knew she was going on the list. I remember seeing the TV spot for career opportunities in high school. You know, the one where she's riding the mechanical horse thing at the store. I don't think I saw that movie for years. The first movie I really remember liking her in was The Rocketeer. I watched that many, many times. I really haven't seen anything she's done recently, though, except for Top Gun Maverick. She was really good in that. But if you ask me anything in the last 10 years, I'm probably going to be like, I don't know if I've seen it. No, I'm on 3 now. This has got me all flustered. Number 3, Barbara Stanwyck. I always loved Barbara Stanwyck. Like, when I was little at my grandparents' house, you know, The Big Valley was on all the time. And then when I got into classic movies in high school, hers was a name I recognized, so I just kind of automatically gravitated toward her. And then I saw this movie, The Strange Love of Martha Ivers, and that one's my favorite. Just love that. But I've just, like, in the last couple of years, found out she had a TV show, The Barbara Stanwyck Show, where it was kind of like a little mini... She's playing a different character every week. It's like an anthology show, and it's awesome. Number 4, why is my pinky sticking out like that? Number 4, Kate Winslet. If you saw my last list, you might have noticed that there were 3 romantic moments with Kate Winslet. So yeah, she's been a favorite actress for a while, and I would pretty much watch her in anything. I loved Mare of Eastwick. Why do I keep talking about TV shows? Mare of Easttown, not Eastwick. The Witches of Eastwick, Mare of Easttown. Right. Yeah, that. I loved that show. That was awesome. What were we talking about? Yeah, she's awesome. Oh, and she can also sing. She had a song in something. I don't remember. Boy, this is getting a little bit off the rails. Number 5, Margot Kidder. Of course, I grew up watching the Superman movies. Oh man, her death scene in the first Superman movie where she's getting like buried in the earthquake. Can't talk. Oh man. Sisters, the Brian De Palma movie, that was another big one. Although I don't know that I knew it was, I don't think I recognized her yet. Like, I didn't know, like, that's Lois Lane in that, because she's so different in that movie. I mean, she looks the same, but she's like doing a different accent. She's like doing a French accent. But that movie freaked me out. And then, like, in high school, I saw this movie Trenchcoat, which is actually a Disney movie, but that was one I watched over and over. And she was kind of one of my favorite actresses in, like, high school, college. I actually, in college English, I wrote a paper comparing the Superman movies to Lois and Clark, so I'd have an excuse to write about both Margot Kidder and Terry Hatcher, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I gotta stop doing the numbers now because this is getting two-handed. Number 6, Rachel Weisz. Lisa had her on her list, and I commented that I would watch her in anything, but that is not actually true. I don't think I've watched her in that many things. I think probably The Mummy was the first thing I noticed her in, but like that movie The Favorite, I couldn't even I couldn't finish that because she's kind of scary in that one. I don't know what's gonna happen. I should finish it eventually, but I seen a new series advertised the other day, that Dead Ringers. Oh, I want to watch that, but I'm kind of scared. I don't know. What has she been in? She's been in. What has she been in? Oh, About a Boy. That's one of my favorites. What else has she been in? The Lobster. That was freaky. That's not one of my favorites, but I did like that one. But then I couldn't finish The Favorite because I watched it right after The Lobster, and I was just like, I can't take any more like weirdness. Oh, I'm forgetting something really good that she's in. Oh, The Lovely Bones. I like that one. Anyway, 7. Vera Farmiga. I think the first thing I had seen her in stuff before, but the first thing I really noticed her in was Source Code. I really liked that movie. She was also in The Departed. She was actually in this show Roar, the one with Heath Ledger. I remember watching that, but I don't remember her. Probably because she had bangs up to here. But I also really like her in the Conjuring movies. And Bates Motel, that was, I mean, I haven't watched Bates Motel. I've watched the first few episodes of it, and I really liked it, but that was I didn't have access to it back in the day, so haven't watched that. But yeah, really like her in the Conjuring movies. You know that last Conjuring movie where she's like full, almost Pentecostal? I wasn't hating it. Number 8, Rosario Dawson. First thing I saw her in was probably Josie and the Pussycats. Love that movie. It's hilarious. Rent was another big one, and I remember I went to see that because, it looked fun because it was a musical, and I wasn't that into musicals, but it looked fun. But the main thing was she was in it, and I wanted to see it because of that, which she is fantastic in that movie. Let's see, Death Proof, Clerks 2 is another one of my favorites, which seems odd that I would like that movie, but I do. I did just watch. I haven't watched anything she's in the last few years except for Clerks 3. I did watch that, and she was really good in that, even though she didn't have that much time. But yeah, she's number 8, right? Am I on 8? Okay. Number 9, Sandra Bullock. I almost didn't put her on the list, even though she's one of my favorite actresses. I'll watch her in pretty much anything. I mean, she's kind of mostly playing the same sort of character. Well, not necessarily the same sort of character, but she brings, her same mannerisms and stuff usually. So really like her. We'll watch her in anything. But I almost didn't put her on the list because I was like, I don't think that's like a crushy thing. So, but I don't know because I don't remember. Obviously, the first thing I saw her in was probably Speed way back in the day, and I've just, watched stuff she's in ever since. So, obviously she's gorgeous, and I love her. She's funny, when you see her in interviews. So, number 10. Oh, I just realized I'm going to run out of fingers. Number 10, Sigourney Weaver. And I almost didn't put her on the list either. What am I doing? Obviously, I think the first big thing I saw her in was Aliens. I don't think I saw the Ghostbuster movies until a little later. Copycat, that's a good one. The movie Red Lights, I can't remember when that was from, 2012 maybe? It's also got Cillian Murphy and Robert De Niro. Growing up, people would talk about there being this stigma against actresses, getting older and not getting as many roles and stuff. So I didn't want to watch my favorite actresses get older because I felt like, well, it meant they were, losing something. Anyway, I had kind of bought into that societal message, I guess. But then I watched this movie, Red Lights, and I was like, oh, no, she hasn't lost anything. She's awesome in this movie. Love this movie. Love her character in that. She's great. I don't know how do I do 11. Number 11, Bridget Fonda. And I know she doesn't act anymore, but I've seen, quite a few of her movies. I love her. She's great in all those. She always had a sweet quality to a lot of her performances, and I really like that. Her last movie role, I think, was this movie called Snow Queen. Actually, I think it was a Hallmark TV miniseries, and she plays like the evil Snow Queen. I haven't finished it yet because it's like 3 hours long and I always fall asleep. I actually was trying to watch it last night, but she is so good in that. It's love it. Great. So good. Number 12, Franka Potente. I don't know if that's how you say her name. German actress. You might know her from Run Lola Run. She was in that movie Creep. The one where it was like underground subway where she gets trapped in there with the other thing. What else is it? Oh, she was in The Conjuring 2. She was one of the skeptics. Anatomy, love that one. But yeah, I haven't watched anything she's in recently, but I wish I still knew how to say something in German. That would have been cool. And number 13, this is the other one I kind of feel guilty about because she hasn't really acted since the 90s, and that is Lynette Walden. She was in The Silencer, which it's kind of a weird movie because it's kind of almost dreamlike, but it's also kind of comic booky, but like there's this weird video game motif that doesn't make any sense. But I was really big into comic books in the 90s. I don't know why. And I just remember seeing that movie and thinking she's almost like a real life comic book character. And then for years the only other thing I knew she was in was she had a small part in Benny and June, which is one of my favorite movies. And since then I've found a few other things that she's in that I like. So she's going on the list. The last thing, alright, so she didn't do anything since the 90s, but then in 2013, I think, there was a movie with Nicolas Cage called Joe. It was actually directed by David Gordon Green. I didn't know that until last night when I was looking all this stuff up. But she had like a small part in that. I think it might have been bigger originally because her character has a name instead of just being Woman in Jeep. But maybe the part got cut or something. So she doesn't have any lines. She's just in a Jeep and Nicolas Cage pulls up and they kind of exchange a look. I mean, it's a drama movie, but it was a really good movie. And I think it's set like in this area where I live, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, she doesn't really act anymore, and we want to be respecting people's privacy. Paparazzi, y'all need to stop y'all foolishness. Leave people's alone. So anyway, that is my top 13 same-sex Hollywood crushes. What's yours? I'll put a link in the description to Lisa's video, and until next time, yeah, cheers, thanks a lot.